Okay. So great. How are you? Good. Yeah, my name's Nick Kaczynski. I don't think we've met yet, but I'm working at Odoo, just helping PhaZZer determine, from a functional standpoint, that the software we're presenting today is going to meet your requirements, and that it's something that you and your team would feel comfortable using. So I'm just going to take you on a walk through this environment based on what I understand about your business thus far, and just give you an opportunity. So can you see my screen yet, or no? Oh, you're all set then. You can just X out of that. Yeah, yeah, you can. You're good to go. So you can see my screen. That's what's important. So yeah, what you're looking at today is called Odoo, and Odoo is a cloud-based software solution that is going to help you automate a lot of your day-to-day activity. It is based in the cloud, as I mentioned. It's accessible by a browser at any computer or any mobile device or tablet. So whether you're at home or you're in the office or you're on vacation, you're going to be able to see what's going on internally within the business. Today I'm going to work in two different. Yep. So going to work in two environments today. There's a PhaZZer environment and just a demo environment. First thing I want to talk to you about today is if we look at our discussion board. Open this up, and what this is it's just a place where all the different conversations happening within Odoo get consolidated. So Odoo, you're going to be able to send emails from Odoo, receive emails in Odoo. Don't worry, you're still going to be able to keep all the emails in your existing software. In your existing client, whatever. If you're using Gmail or if you're using Outlook, it'll stay there, but you're also going to track it here. The interesting thing here is that it will be document specific. So with this, you'll be able to see all the conversations happening that concern you, and you're going to be able to drill into one of those conversations with just the click of a button. Where you're going to take you to this instance, it would be a lead. In this lead, you'll see the status of the lead, see any quotes sent out for this lead, and you'll furthermore see the conversation down here that has gone on. And you'll be able to, as I mentioned, send emails directly out of the system here to the customer, as well as all people registered as followers here. Can easily add new followers at any time, whether that be a sales manager, a partner of this customer's, whatever. And we have what's called the email composing tool here, which save the email. This email composer will let you, as I mentioned earlier, design more cosmetically pleasing emails. So you're going to be able to, edit that. You can embed links, embed pictures, documents, etc., right into an email, right in the chatter, and send it out. You can also attach files, and you can use create templates in order to speed up the composition of an email. So in addition to that, you're going to be able to log internal notes, and this is one of my favorite features of the system, because there's oftentimes you'll be referring to an invoice, right, or you'll be referring to a vendor bill that has to be paid, and instead of copy pasting that specific vendor bill number and forcing your colleague to go into the system and look it up and have a reference of what you're talking about, you'll just be able to go to that page yourself, click at, and tag the specific user that you want to reference this to, and say check this out or whatever, and log it. And what it'll do is it'll actually send that user an email in their Gmail or their Outlook, whatever you're using, which they can click. They'll get the new email, and in that email they'll see a little button, and they click that button, and it'll take them right to this page. So that'll help internal communication, and it'll streamline a lot of that. No, so you can, if you tag the note on an invoice, it will be the invoice that houses that record, but it will be the invoice that houses that note, but the invoice is also housed under the customer record. So I'll get into that right now, actually. Right. So let's just say AgriLate calls and they say invoice, XYZ. You type in AgriLate, you pull up the customer, you look at their invoices, and you see all their invoices. You reference the number they're talking about, you access that specific invoice. Here's the invoice, and if you want to log a note, you do it right here on the invoice. Make sense? And so if it's I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Yeah, you would put it right here in the customer. Right. If you want to track it, if a customer wants to add something to a sales order or has a question about his invoice or something like that, then you're going to want to kickstart the conversation from the invoice or whatever other document they're referring to. For instance, a sales order. You can click on a sales order for this customer, access it, and if they want to change it, you can email them out. What line items do you want to add? So something like that, and you can log it, and it'll send it to that customer. When they respond, it'll track it here, and then you'll be able to edit, and you'll be able to update and add the line items. Oh, I'll show you in this different environment. This one's I have it set up. So what I want to talk about now quickly is the customer database, and furthermore, what we call the customer 360. So what this is going to do for you here is it's going to give you a place to house all your customers or your contacts. You're going to always have, in your sales module, always have the different drop downs up here. For instance, your customers, your pipeline, next activities, quotes, sales orders, and even access your products from here. You always have your action button up here in green, top left. You'll have all the different contacts down in the center, right here displayed on the main page. And you'll have up here what's called a search engine. This is going to be part of almost every page in Odoo because it's going to allow you to filter through and sift out information accordingly. You can easily filter by any of these pre-configured filters like partners, companies, etc. Or you can just type in a name and filter out that way and access contacts that way. Furthermore, we have different filters preset, like filter out all your customers, filter out all your vendors, and filter out really any of these data points that you see listed here, such as an invoice. Yep, so you can create your own custom fields with our Studio tool, which I can show you shortly what that looks like. If you want to see now, I can actually, while we're on the topic, we'll go. Yeah, so you can use what's called Odoo Studio, and Ron, I think you'll like this as well. If you click on Studio, this is actually the old Studio, believe it or not. We just released a new one like earlier on Monday, I think. So the new one actually is less complicated than this, but this one isn't bad. I can show you. So you can click on where you want to add a new field, and let's just say you want to track just a character field. We can create a new one, and you can just have something like favorite drink, just for an example. Favorite drink will be the name of the field, and we can just make it a character field, and you save this, and you'll insert that new field automatically right there for you. Now when we look at this and we fill it out, we can just say Pepsi. Now when we go to our contacts and we go to filter, custom, favorite drink is now searchable, and PE, and we'll see that Pepsi. So you can create different many-to-one relationships where it references different objects and models and all of that. So it can become much nicer in terms of if you don't want to just enter character fields. So back to this, what you're looking at here, just all your different contacts, filter them, group by. We can easily group by country if we want. You can see all your different contacts in different countries. It's all drag and drop from country to country. And furthermore, if you don't like this view, you can create a list view up here. Click it, and it'll present it. Right. Yeah, what you would do is you'd actually go in. You're on the right page. You would have a company, and you'd create another contact, and then you would just another address, contact, and that's how you would manage that. And then what it would do is it would actually create another contact record. And then what you could do is you could do a 2 layers of filter where you group by both country as well as you could, or you would group by, if you wanted to create a field for factory location, you could, choose a country or a location. So, yep. So with this, yeah, you have your contact record. Let's say this view. If you don't like this view, we have a list view. You can add other views as well to this. You'll have your different content broken out this way, and you'll be able to drill in and click it that way. So it's useful when you're looking at sales orders and you want to group by customer or group by product line, something like that. And again, you'll be able to access all your opportunities with this customer, all your activities, invoices, sales, etc. One thing I do want to talk about here, go on. Yep. Exactly. Archive just hides it away in a certain folder, which is not any, so just to reduce clutter on your day-to-day. So with this, let's say you want to drill into an invoice. Typically with like a lot of other systems, as I mentioned earlier, you have to like right-click, open new window, and it'll show you different, that's how you drill in. With Odoo, you're able to drill into your invoices for this customer. Click a button, take it a step further to a specific invoice. See all the line items here, the payment terms, have your chatter down here where you can email this customer about this invoice. Furthermore, you can take it a step further and look at journal entries for this invoice. And we can open up the journal entry and see that it was posted all the way down to like the reconciliation, which in this instance, it is not reconciled. But the purpose of me taking you on that quick journey was to show you how intuitive the system is and just its ability to drill down into information, and consequently also how easy it is to drill out. So instead of having to click back 100 times to land back on that last page, you can see the journey you took, and you can access any point of it. For this instance, the invoices, or right back to the customer record. So the purpose of that design is to make it easy to use for the end user. So we want people to engage with the software. We want them to feel comfortable bouncing around in it and not have it feel cumbersome or too boxy. So that's the way that it's been designed. Within contact records, I showed you different fields you can add, the actual internal contacts within this company. You can log internal notes here, define the sales purchasing relationship, sales price lists, person, delivery methods, all that. We'll get into that in a little while. And then accounting. I should say also storing credit cards and bank account information. We are PCI compliant. We integrate with a number of different payment processors, Authorize.net, Stripe, and others. So you'll have no problem there. And with the accounting, you'll see we integrate with TaxCloud for just fiscal positions, which computing tax automatically based on different jurisdictions, and also, as I mentioned, payment terms, and then setting up accounting entries. So with that, the next thing I want to review here in this instance is the product management page. So with products, I'll do that actually in a different environment. So let's take a step back to where we are here in the PhaZZer test environment. Now, in this environment, we have a few things. I'll start by looking at the products. So if we go into sales, products, we'll see we have a few different products that Mike and I have created. Some components, some actual physical products for sale. If we look here, this is what this would look like. The PhaZZer Enforcer complete set with data port black. We have the type of product. Can this be purchased and sold? The type of product, it's stockable, service, or consumable. Internal reference, barcode. We also have HS codes if that's of interest to you. Sale list, sale price versus cost price, the company to which this is associated with, units of measure, etc. This is a multi-company environment. You can navigate to different companies up here. So inventory, you're able to define on a product level the routes. Is this a product drop shipped, manufactured, by, made to order, dimensions, weight, tracking, by lot serial number, by lots, no tracking at all, volume, and of course vendors associated with this. Who are we purchasing this product from? And you can see here, this would be PhaZZer France. Next step would be sales. You can define on the website what category is this associated with, alternative products for this, alternative products that you want to suggest to your customer in the event that you may be out of stock, accessory products associated with this, styles, availability. If it's out of stock, you can display a warning. If it's in stock, you can have that displayed, or you can just display nothing. And then customer lead times and manufacturing lead times. These fields are dynamic based on different settings that you have associated, for instance, with this vendor. So we can define the product here, the vendor, product names, lead times, the company that this is associated with, and then, of course, minimum quantity, purchasable, price, all that. And then currency. Yeah. Yeah, that, oh, if you, so a serial number in Odoo is, the purpose of that is to, it's supposed to be unique per product. So if this is just like a SKU, yeah, this is, the internal reference is pretty much the same as a SKU. There's no, internal reference is just what we call it in Odoo. But a SKU, that would be the SKU. The serial number is for traceability. So that is correct, yeah. So, and keep in mind up here, you'll be able to see cost analysis for these products published on website, bill of materials, engineering change orders for this product, manufacturing orders for this product. Yep. So yep, you would list all of them. You can set it so that it encompasses all of the companies, and that's actually something it's done on the back end. Not really on the back end, but it's just like a general setting to make products available, either company specific, or you check a box that says have product available on all companies. So yeah, the intercompany transactions and the nature. I sent over a video that I had one of my colleagues put together to show the way that the companies can all work together. I did not configure the intercompany movements in today's environment. The purpose of today's environment is to show like price lists and how products are purchased online, and just the general flow of the purchasing to sale. So yeah, with this sales, I went over customer lead time, manufacturing lead time, invoicing. Do we want to invoice upon ordered quantities or delivered quantities? And then notes. So you'll be able to define notes for all sales orders. This description will show up on the website. You can have descriptions for vendors and as well as for pickings, so that every time a picking is generated, the notes will be displayed there. Okay, so that's products. Again, design. The search function up here is designed pretty much the same. Okay, so you have your ammo here. You'll have your general overview of the ammo, and most importantly, you have your bill of materials here for the ammunition. We look here, access the bill of materials, and you'll see here you have your full list of components associated with, what associated with that order and the quantity. So this is that. I don't think that would be the best way to approach it, because you don't know what you paid for these. Assuming, what happens if you have multiple different vendors? If you want to have a static price listed for these, then that's totally fine. I mean, that's not hard to build in there, to put in there. But like, depending on what you end up paying for those, we actually have a pre-built tool in here that actually is going to calculate in real time per manufacturing order how much you paid for each particular component, multiply what you paid times the quantity consumed, and then also it will incorporate labor rates in real time into the different work orders associated with the end production of that component, of that finished product. And I can show you what that looks like if we go here to manufacturing quickly, and we look at a finished manufacturing order, and this one's canceled, but let's jump up. See this one? It's done. Cost analysis. Open it up, and it'll actually break everything down: quantity, unit cost, total cost. And these raw materials that were consumed were actually purchased, and because they were purchased, they have a defined cost associated with them. And that defined cost is what is built into this cost analysis. Make sense? So the bill of materials. That's normal. That's perfectly fine. So what would happen is, when you sell this product, it would automatically generate, if you have it set up correctly, purchase orders in order for all of these different items to be purchased from their corresponding vendors. So let's do a test example here. Let's look at our products, and let's look at FF2. So let's look who the vendor is. It's PhaZZer Electronics Taiwan. Let's create a new vendor just for demonstration purposes here, just to show you how it works. Vendor B. And we can say this is $2.99 for vendor B. Yeah, so save it. Now, all these have reordering rules, I believe. Yes. So let's go ahead here and sell the Dart Pro cartridge. Creating sales orders. We can either, what we can do actually, we'll create it online. So we'll go in, and this will take me to. Let me just do this here. Oops. So what I want to do is open a new incognito window. Because I want to go and log in as as a new user. I don't want the system to recognize that I'm going to try to log in. It just makes it easier to log in as a distinct user. Exactly. So it tries to, that's yeah, what I'm getting at here. So you can sign up here as a new customer. So I can say my email is xyz12343214 at mailinator.com, and I can say my name is Jacob Kaczynski, my password, And now I can create this. I have it set up here just to create a portal. So you can decide who has access to create a portal and who doesn't, based on just rules that you can use in the system. And I can show you what that looks like shortly. So with this, I can actually go into my portal, and this is just a dummy environment, but let's say we want to shop. I can see here there's 3 options that are for sale. Now what I want to display to you is the price lists and how they work. So Jacob Kaczynski is a new user in our system, right? We're going to go to our contacts, and he just registered through the portal. And I can see Jacob Kaczynski here as a new customer, automatically registered. The way you manage portal access, as I mentioned before, on a customer-by-customer basis, is you can send this out. This is the button you click, and it'll actually say invite this user with this name, this email to the portal, which should belong to the portal, so you can create it that way. But now, let's say I want to create a new price list for this customer. Let's say the sales purchasing, I can go down here for this customer. I can decide which price list do I want to give them. We have a wholesale price list, which if we open it up, it'll actually list the products here and the quantities or the price that we want to specify to this customer based on this wholesale list. Let's say that we want to sell the, and here's how you configure price lists. So all products, do you want to select a product category? Do you want to select a specific product to which this rule will apply? We do. Let's say we want to specify the brown blast dartboards, and we want to give them a fixed price, a percentage off, or a formula. So percentage off, pretty straightforward, 30% discount, or the formula can be applied at the price level. You can look at the public price and apply the formula, or you can look at the cost price in order to create certain guarantees of margins, etc. Let's just say we want to look at the public price, and we want to sell it for, let's just say $10, just to make it simple. There's a new one for $10. We save it. We save the wholesale price list to Nicholas Jacob. Perfect. Okay, so now this is the portal. $31. Watch it change to 10 as the price list is applied based on who I'm signed in as. Changes to 10. So that's how you can control who has what prices to, for what products based on different rules you configure in the system. And now I can go in as Nicholas Jacob for the darts for $10, and I can add it to my cart. This is, again, just a very generic backend. There's no themes installed or anything. This is a very stripped down version of our e-commerce in terms of the cosmetics. It's really to just display the functionality to you. You can see an item's been added to your cart. If you want to process this checkout, we can do that. 77. We'll just fill out some information. West Side Highway, New York. So if you want to you can actually go to, try to type in demo.odoo on like a browser and access it that way. You should be able to. I've never done that before. Okay, so you're able to click on confirm, and it'll actually push this order through. If you want to, you'll choose your payment method as your vendor or your customers will, and it'll push the order through. Pay now, and they'll be able to pay. So this is waiting a manual confirmation because I didn't pay. So with that, let's actually go into our backend now. If we look at our backend, if we click on Nicholas Jacob Kaczynski, we'll see, boom, we have one new sale. But let's actually look at it through the sales order, because this is how you'll be looking at it. Every morning you'll come in, you'll look at in this instance, it's still a quotation because it's not yet confirmed. Oops. Actually, it might be a sale order. It is, hold on. Oops. Yeah, so it's actually a sales order, but it's not confirmed yet. So you have one for Jacob Kaczynski. You'll see here, this is it. It's still asking them to pay. And what you want to do is manually, you'll confirm the sale order. You won't confirm it on the back end because if this customer had actually paid, then it would process the sale order automatically. And with that, So this would automatically happen. The sale would automatically be confirmed. Now, once this sale gets confirmed here, a few things happen. First, the delivery order is automatically queued up in the inventory. Second, a manufacturing order is automatically going to be generated for the production of these darts. Third, purchasing order is automatically generated for all the components required to manufacture these darts. So we'll go back to the home screen and let's look at the manufacturing order that was generated. We have a new one for the Pro Dart associated with sales order number 25, and it's confirmed. And if we open it up, we'll see here that none of these products are all still in red, which means they're waiting availability. You can check, they're not available. Next, purchasing order. If we click purchasing, we'll see we have new purchase orders generated, even for vendor B, for that one product that the FF 2014, which we specified a unique vendor for. So what the system's going to ask us to do now is bring in all of these different items. So we have this list of items that we want to bring in, and you can see based on what we paid for them, etc. This is actually still an RFQ, so this actually still needs to be sent out to the vendor. So assuming that we actually, and the purpose for this is that people in the purchasing department know, okay, here's all the products that we need to produce, that we need to purchase. You'll be able to see, what was the order. We can see this purchase order has been created from this manufacturing order. So if someone in the purchasing department says, wait, why are we purchasing all of these products? They'll be able to look in the chatter and actually open up the manufacturing order associated with the PO if they wanted to do that. That's incorrect. It's actually this one. No, I didn't set that up right, but okay. So you're able to access the manufacturing order associated with this purchase order. Now, what you do at this point is once you communicate with that vendor right through here, through the chatter, they confirm the prices, the rates, etc. You're able to confirm the purchase order. And once the purchase order gets confirmed, it automatically queues up an incoming shipment. And we're just going to go through and confirm all these POs quickly for the sake of the demonstration. So POs get confirmed. Now we have a running list of we can see all of our purchase orders. So we want to look at purchase order number 9. It's going to ask us to receive products, but you're not going to want to do that from purchasing. You're going to want to do that from the inventory. Tell me if I'm losing anybody, because I'm going through a lot of information here. So I have different warehouses here. So we have global. I'm just going to set this as use as default. Okay. So with this inventory, you're going to see in your receipts here, you can click it, open up all the expected receipts here, and we can start to receive products. So we want to bring this into our warehouse. This is going to require a specific lot serial number. We can just do test, a bunch of numbers, and save it for the sake of the demo, just to demonstrate to you the traceability aspect. And when I validate this incoming receipt, it's going to move it from the vendor to our stock. So folks in the inventory department, as they're bringing products in, they can either have a barcode capability where they're scanning the actual picking, which if we look at the picking operation here, you open it up, it's going to have the barcode set up here. So you would scan the barcode, and then you would scan the actual of the picking, which would recognize the picking, and then you would actually scan the specific product. And the specific product, you can, obviously scan in the serial number for that product, and then upon putting that product away, you go over to whatever specific location here. In this instance, we just have general stock. You scan the specific location, and it inserts that product into that location. And then you would scan a little tag that would be symbolic of validate, which would essentially move that product into your warehouse. And now that is actually on your books, it's in your inventory. And the same concept applies for the rest. These just don't have any traceability, so I can move them quickly. And then we have all these. If I validate, it's going to, what this does is you haven't set any specific quantities, just to click apply and it'll process all the specified quantities. So it's just a way to surpass, having to manually enter all the quantities. Now, we brought in all these products. Keep in mind, and we can see we have 11 delivery orders that are still waiting, including the one for Jacob Kaczynski, which is waiting in another operation. An email will be sent off to the shipping department to notify them of an order that has been paid for. So why an order, the shipping department would be notified of an order that was paid for on behalf of the vendor, or a customer paid for an order? So you want to see that Nicholas Jacob has, declined, right? So the order wouldn't even be confirmed and processed unless the payment was received. Okay. So that will automatically, so what happens is when you confirm an order, the sales order, it automatically sticks an order in the queue here. This was in here from sales order 25. And if you go back and you look at the sales order, just type in sales. If we look at the sales order for Nicholas Jacob, you'll see the minute we clicked confirm, it automatically created that delivery order, which is what we were just looking at. So the customer would obviously be notified. This is what it looks like in the customer's instance. So if not the customer's instance, but the customer's portal, when they go to their account, they're going to see here, order, we have one new order. They open up that order, they see that it's at sales order 25, and if they open that up, they're going to see the status of it. It's currently in preparation. Okay, so if you want emails generated for sales orders that are confirmed, and you want those emails to be sent to someone, that's not a problem. We're able to do that. I have that set up on my instance internally here. So when someone confirms a sale with me, I automatically get an email saying, "Hey, this person just signed, payment confirmed. Here, access the sales order here," and it's a little button. I can actually show it to you. If I go here, I had somebody confirm a sale earlier. This is what it looks like. Holistic Embrace, Administrator. This is actually the sale. So this is the, it's actually going to view the invoice, and this one's actually the sale order. So you can see here, view the sale order, untaxed amount, Holistic Embrace. And I can access that physical sales order right from there. So this is what it looks like from the customer's portal. So when they log in, they'll be able to see the status of their shipments. Now, going forward, when we actually manufacture this product now. So now if I go into my manufacturing, the folks who are in whatever aspect of the business, they're probably going to be in a different company, like a different arm of PhaZZer. So obviously there's intercompany transactions here, right? If a sale order is generated in PhaZZer Global, you can have it automatically create a purchase order. As they did for the components, that purchase order will automatically trigger a sales order in a different company internally. And that sales order, we can have it in that second company automatically create the manufacturing order, which is what we're looking at here. And now when I look at the manufacturing order, they're no longer red, they're gray, which means that they're available and it's been confirmed. And all it's going to ask me to do now is to produce this. So if I go here, this is the test, this is that unique one we brought in for this order. It'll ask me to scan it in, and when I click produce, Very straightforward. It's going to say this is the product that's going to be consumed amongst all the others. Define a new lot serial number for your end product, which we're able to do. This is the product that we're going to produce. Here's the new serial number, 00003. Once I record production, it will consume those materials out of my warehouse, consume them in the manufacturing order, and furthermore, place a new Dart Pro cartridge 00003 for serial number into my stock. And once I mark it as done, this order is complete. And you'll have a cost analysis here, as you had asked about earlier, Mike. You'll see here. And the reason why these are all listed as 0 is because I never paid the vendor bill for them. So technically, it didn't cost me anything. You need to pay, in the way that I have this environment set up, is that once I pay the vendor bill, then the cost actually would get computed. You can have it the other way around if you want. So, next step would be to fulfill the sales order. Now, Barb, I'm sure if you're living in the inventory app, you're going to open this up and you're going to see, oh, we have a new one to do. What is it? We click it and it's sales order 25. Now that the system's smart enough to know, hey, this manufacturing order was marked as done. This is a manufacturing order that's in the queue. Tell the folks at the inventory department that it's ready to go and that the status is now available. And when I open this, again, it's going to be simple. It's going to say select the actual number you want to send out. It's smart enough to know that we produced 00003 for this order. You click this. When I save it, marks it, and when I validate it, it pushes it out to the end custom location of Jacob Kaczynski. When I look at that customer's portal, it's going to change from preparation to shipped. And the customer will know that it's been shipped to them. So, that's all automatic. Yep, automatically does that, based on the validation of this order out of your warehouse. So, let's just say this customer calls up. Okay. Yeah, you can have that automatically send an email as well. So it's the way that works is it's really the shipped is triggered by the validation of the warehouse receipt. So whoever is in the shipping dock, they're going to print out that shipping label. They're going to slap it on the box and they're going to put it in the corner. And when UPS comes or whoever comes to pick that up, they're going to validate that order and validate the shipment, and it's going to officially send it off as shipped. And in that instance, you can also have the email triggered as well to be sent out to the customer to let them know that this order has been shipped. Because if you look at the inventory receipt, on the shipping order, so if you want to have an image embedded onto the packaging slip, it would be essentially, yeah, I mean, the image exists in the system already, and so does the function for the picking operation. So if you want to embed that actual image into the picking, that would just, yeah, that would be something the implementation team would be able to configure for you. So once this product's shipped, now let's just say that somebody calls a week later, Jacob Kaczynski, and he says, hey, my bullets that you sent me, or the darts, something's not right with them. The serial number is 003. You say, okay, let me check it out. You can open this up. You'll see here that it's at the end location of the customer. And when you go to your up-down traceability, you'll see here, here's the product that we sold, here's the serial number, the quantity, and when you open it, you'll be able to see it left our warehouse at this day and time. It was created by manufacturing order number 5, which contained all of these different components, and we'll be able to see here when all of these components each individually came into our stock. So you'll have full traceability into the incoming receipt of each individual component that goes into the production of each individual finished product, so that you can always know where things are coming and going. And if you want to see it, you can easily click into the warehouse in, and it'll take you right there, and it'll let you know that your employee, Mitch Bossy, brought this into our warehouse 10 minutes ago, and it came from vendor B. And you can easily email vendor B right from here and let them know, hey, something happened with this product you sold me. So that is how the manufacturing works. I showed you how Portal works. I showed you how price lists work. That was really what I was like, based on what we talked about. That's what we wanted to cover today. So for warranties, you can track warranties here. As far as RMAs go, returning is done through the sale. So you pull up the sale order, and assuming I actually Yep, so what you would do is, if it was defective, you'd look at the incoming receipt for this. You'd go here to return, and you could return. It'll say, is this the product you want to return, the quantity, and what's the plan? Do we want to refund them, or do we want to replace it? If you want to refund, it'll have invoicing implications, or you can also just return this product, and it'll actually create a warehouse in number 9 for this particular Dart Pro cartridge. And it'll ask you, is this the serial number that you want to bring back in? Yes, it is. And you can save this, and you can validate. And it actually brings it back in. Assuming I had actually invoiced this person, it would also ask me to return if I wanted to reimburse them, I would be able to do that as well, and it will actually create journal entries for a return. And it also tracks both the incoming. Okay, so okay. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing. Yep. So you don't double. Okay, so what you want to do is, if you send out 3 products, or you send out products and they want to return 3 of them, you have an incoming receipt for those 3 products. You bring them in. You also reverse which you want to. Then when you bring them in, you just want to have a credit come in for the total of those 3, right? Or you want to give them credit. Okay, so if you. Okay. So yeah, so you can bring it back in. As far as actually creating, then you would create another. No, actually, you wouldn't do it this way. In order to then if you're looking for like automation when it comes to sending out another order, if you want to like place another order here, what you would do would actually, I have to get more information for you on exactly what the best way to do that would be. What you would do, this is all going to be integrated. Anything you do in here will be. What I think would make sense would be to, with this order, you would, hold on actually, let me just see this. Warehouse stock. Okay, you'll send a form. You'll be able to send the form out right through here on the sales order. You'll be able to write this. You'll be able to attach the form for them to fill out. Or what you can even do is create a template for a return template. That would be ideal. I need to think about what's the best way. No, you probably just want to attach the physical form here with where you want to send it out, and then they would send the product back. When you receive that product back, the same concept. So remember how I created this? I created this warehouse in here. This receipt, I believe this is it. Yeah, it came from the customer to our stock. So what would happen is this would be sitting in your receipt bin in the inventory. So when this product arrived, your folks in the inventory department would look through. They'd say, hey, we have this receipt. This is it. They validate it, and that item would then be brought back into the warehouse. And then what you would want to do, so if it has a defect, then you probably want to send it back to the end, the location of the manufacturer, right? So you're able to send out an email. I'd have to know what you mean by an RMA. Do you mean just like you want to send out like a document that says here's where you send products that you want to return, and then yes, you'd be able to create a warehouse inventory receipt so that the folks in the inventory can manage the receipt of that product from that customer. Yeah, this will mostly track just like this is going to track like the actual movement of the product and the serial number. So you're going to be able to bring that 003 in, and then if you want to, yes, you'll be able to associate, because the product that you're going to send back to the customer is you'll want to do it up here. So let's say the replacement, you create it, you would, obviously you'd select the customer here. You can select where I haven't set this up correctly, but you would select where it's going to go to. It's going to go to the location of the customer. You can select the picking type, delivery, and then when you select the product that you're going to send back out, you're going to see here it's going to require that when I save it, when I mark it as to do, if I try to reserve this, it will let me because I have that 003 in there. But what it's going to make you, if I try to validate this it's going to say, hey, you need to make sure that you select the serial number on this product that you're about to send back out to this customer. So you're able to track it all the way to the factory. Well, what does the document look? I need to know what the document looks like, and where. Obviously, if you can just send it over, that would be Ideal, and I'm happy to send over an NDA for everyone to sign. Which, of course, if there's any worries there, we can have that signed in order to create the confidentiality. Okay. So I mean, based off of what you guys have seen thus far, what are your thoughts? I know, Mike, I know we've talked pretty extensively about this, but Ron, I'm curious to know what you think. Yeah. All right. I mean, do you think this is going to do what PhaZZer, is going to what the requirements are? I mean, do you feel confident in what I'm showing you this far? Cool. Yes. Yep. So the way that works is here, barcode interface. You'd go into here, scan operations. I don't think we have any though. So what you'd click on, a picking or receipt. You'd see available, 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 and at that point, it's pretty much the same interface, but you would be scanning through. Like I said, you'd scan the barcode on the picking, and you'd scan the actual product serial number. It would tag that and associate it with the picking. And when you do that, then if you scanned a delivery, you would validate that product if you had scanned a delivery picking. Whereas if you actually scan like a put away, then when you scan the picking, you scan the product, you scan the location, then you scan a little icon that would essentially be validate, and that would validate it automatically all by gun. Makes sense. So ideally, you'd be walking around like a tablet of some sort. Yep. Printing product labels, all that is done here. Like, let's look at this guy. Print product labels. See what this looks like. This is just. Yeah, exactly. So this is just it's associated with the inventory item, but there's just no barcode listed here for it. You need to enter that in here. Whatever it was, yeah, whatever device you were working on, you would be able to do that kind of stuff. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you can send over the RMA form, I'll be able to figure out what's the best way to get it in here. Based on what you're telling me, though, I think that just sending it through the chatter directly from the sales order or from the inventory order would be your best move. So, as we mentioned earlier, yeah, you go. Yeah, I mean, you would send it right out through here. So you would see on your chatter, you'd click on this button, up would come this, pull the file off your computer, send it, and you'd be able to send this right out to Jacob Kaczynski, the customer. And then when they respond to it with that document filled out, it would actually track it right here. So then you'd be able to track it all within this warehouse receipt. So anytime you refer to this order, you'll be able to say, okay, this delivery order, all the documentation would be stored in here. So in the event that you were somewhere else, you were away from your desk, you were on vacation, and you needed to reference the RMA documentation, you'd be able to bring this up, and Odoo will have it listed right here in the chatter for you, so you'll be able to access it from wherever. Okay, so what else can I go over that I haven't gone over thus far for you guys? Yeah, I think what we talked about last time for a solution for that would be the to leverage the CRM. Um, so what I would do there would be, I think, yeah, this is what we worked on. So you would type in here. You can change the names of these. You can create custom forms right through here. Of course, this can all be. You can tune this up to really relate it to an existing model or a custom one. Want to relate it to an existing model. Again, I think. Is it even in here? Where would that be? Yep. So you would be able to email, and if you create custom forms, custom models in your opportunities, such as favorite drink or whatever, you'll be able to handle that in here. I can show you some cool stuff. So it would be what you're really looking to just do is assign them to a certain price list, right? You can set. Yep, that's user access rates. Go on. What I would do would be like this. This is what I would do. So I'd type in an opportunity, just to give you an example. Let's just type in Bob Reynolds, contact name. Then I want to be law enforcement approval, and I can show you some. I'll show you some more automated ways to handle this. And let's do nko@odoo.com. Send it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, folks, you can receive an email too if you want this to automatically be done, which would be ideal. Now you receive an email, and that email will, when you click a little button in that email, it's going to take you here. To law, all of a sudden you'll be open up this, and it'll take you right to this page. Now, when you're on this page, make sense? Okay. Those would all be, yeah, pretty. Those would all just be custom fields that I can create. I mean, I can show you what they look like. It would be like if you wanted to see, for instance, it would have to be law enforcement specific. So I can show you. I mean, yeah, it can be done. What kind of confidential? So certain pages can appear. When you say role types, you mean like law enforcement versus wholesale versus, right? Yes. So that's all. That's just a matter of access rights at a portal user level. So with this, you could automatically have this set. So you can automatically have them type their customer name in, so it automatically creates a contact, right? So what happens is you receive an email for someone who's applying to be law enforcement approval. You open up that email, you click a button. It takes you here. You look through the documentation, and when you're ready to accept them, what you do is you would go here, and you can type in, obviously their email will automatically be generated here, but what you do is you go here, and you could have a template for accepted. So watch, ready? And you've been whatever, something like that, and then you save template. So you get the hint. Now, so when you go in, you can design that to be as fancy as you want it to be. You go in, you decide that they passed the test. You go here, law enforcement approval accepted. You send it to that customer, and then and so you can send it right from there, the approval, and then you would want to click on this record here, go to sales and purchases, and assign them to the law enforcement price list, and that will then allow them, when it comes to their portal, they can have specific visibility as well as specific prices. Okay, so does that answer your question, Mike? Automatically triggering of a bill of materials when a product hits. So you're looking to have manufacturing order triggered automatically. So this is what I have to understand. Yeah, I think I understand. So what you're looking for is yep, you can have that. So it would be a purchase order. So let me just get this straight. So what you're looking so you would be able to set those levels and reordering rules. Now, my question is, who's manufacturing this product? Are you, is this company, or is another company? Are you? Yep. That would be. So you would have. So, I mean, yeah, it'll do the reordering rules. It just really depends on if you're manufacturing the product. Oh, sorry. Yep, sorry, I was on mute. But I was saying, yeah, it will. As far as the manufacturing orders go, it really would depend on if you wanted to. So the reordering rules, it'll do that. It'll automatically purchase the products based on a set minimum threshold. What it will also do is it will create manufacturing orders for you in order to produce those products that need to be met in order to meet that threshold. So it will do both. It's Yeah, unfortunately, like I think because it's very much I can put something together for you. I can work with to. Understood. I can put something together, and we can. I'm sure I won't nail it the first time, but you and I can hopefully work together to come up with something that is all encompassing of each process that you have. So it. Nope. Right. So what our system is going to do. Right. Exactly. And this is where you're going to live. You're going to be living right here. So what happens is the sales order comes in, you send a quote out, no inventory is reflected. Nothing happens. When you confirm a sale, you change it to a new order. Yes, you would change it to a new order. Okay. Okay, so okay, let me just do something. So create a bid. Okay, hold on one second. Just bear with me here. I'm just going to set up a few things. One thing, actually. So let's look at the Dart 2014 here. I'm going to update the quantity on hand. I'm just going to say we have 10. So now there's 10 on hand, I believe. On hand 10. Okay. So let's go ahead and make a bid. Sales. Go here to sales. You go to quotes. Click a quote. Now what we want to do is click on create. Select the customer we want to build this quote for. The price list automatically updates. You'll see that here for that customer. And then I go to add a new item. Let's say we want to sell the, I hope it was the PP 2014. Here, actually, was it the Dart? Dart 2014. Let's just pretend this is the product we want to sell, and we want to sell 5 of them. Remember, we have 10 on hand currently. So what happens, I send out this quote, right? I send out a preview. This is I send out by email. This is what the online quote would look like. The online quote is going to be able to describe your language up here, and then it's going to have the pricing down here. Customers can sign and accept right online. Now, to answer your question, of course, you can edit all this as well with the builder to make this quote look as fancy as you want. So to answer your question, let's look at what that quote did to the inventory. Right? So if we look at the inventory for the Dart 2014 there, let's look at here. Dart 2014, 10, 10, nothing happened. Now, what happens when we confirm that? Now I go to add that. So this one up here, and I confirm this. Now watch what happens. Confirm, products, Dart 2014. Now, there's only for one, but there's now a forecasted quantity of 9 here, which means that because there's 1 on there, but we still have 10 on hand in stock. It's just that we're forecasted to only have 9 on hand after we fulfill that sales order that's just been confirmed. Anyone who needs a unique login and anyone who has a unique login, and then typically a user is defined by someone who needs to access the system and modify data, and you want to have accountability for that. Nope. They just operate in the portal. That's just portal users. Those are free. So the only time you need a user is someone who accesses that backend. So typically employees. So employees, in some instances, I've seen vendors who have to just modify bombs and things like that. You can restrict access all the way down to the field level per user. Nope. So the way that it goes, the only limitations around usage, I think, are emails. If you're sending mass mails, limited at 50,000 per day, I believe. As far as usage goes, I'd have to know more about your specific volumes. If it's something outlandish and huge, then obviously I want to red flag that and drill deeper to make sure there'll be no hiccups. But there's no limitations around, like, just in terms of storage and usability and all that. It's you're essentially paying for users and then obviously for the modules. That's the way the pricing model works. So let's go to odoo.com/pricing. So you go to pricing.com and it's pretty straightforward. How many users would you guys be estimated? Mike, I forgot. I haven't looked at that quote since I sent it about a month out. So how many users would you think I should estimate for here? So 5, based off what I've shown you today: sales, invoicing, CRM, e-commerce website, accounting, inventory, purchase, manufacturing, studio. This is for custom fields, anything that you'd want to create for those forms. We went over eSign. We did not review help desk. I don't know if that's of interest to you, but assuming it probably would be if you have customers emailing in, but we don't have to put it on there for right now. So for 5 users in these applications, you would be looking at $440 monthly and a recommended implementation service of 100 hours. The build out would be, for the implementation services, which are listed here. And what we would recommend is a 100-hour pack. So we actually sell our implementation services in packages. You'll see here we have yep. Yep. Right. I was going to click on the implementation services. So if I click on that, this is how our pricing structure is broken down for the implementation. We actually sell it in packages. We have full transparency into the utilization of your hours too. So you can log into your portal as an Odoo customer and you can see how your hours are being consumed hour by hour with descriptions associated, all put in by your implementation consultant. This is based on hours spent, working on your project, and that includes any, obviously research that would have to be done, but mostly implementation, configuration, training, data import, things like that. So they differ. You can see 100 hours, $77 per hour. 200 hours, which would be 200 divided by, is that the same rate? You would buy the new customer 30% off. A lot of people, obviously, if you anticipate, expanding or anticipate bringing on more applications or anticipate needing more training, things like that, then a lot of people go bigger in the beginning in order to take advantage of that 30% discount. Returning customers, if you choose to buy a second. Right. So you could this I don't think is cheaper per hour. I think it's that's like what per hour times 4, 2380 times 4 would be 2380 times 4. That's $95 per hour. Whereas this 100 hours is 77 per hour. And then 200 hours would be even less than that. So at 100 hours there at 15,400 you'd be paying what would that be? Divided by 2, so it would be 15,400. Divided by 2. So yeah, so it would actually no, I think that 15,400 actually is the equivalent. So anything over 100 is consistent. The rates as you go beyond 100 are consistent at $77 per hour. Based on what you've seen here, I mean, are these prices like in alignment with your budgetary expectations? Yeah, understood. You guys, listen, take your time. It's obviously it's a big decision for you. So, I think you have the numbers in front of you. So, whenever you guys are ready to, if you have questions in the meantime, whatever, you can always contact me. Especially, Ron, if you have further questions and related to just like the system or 646. It's right in the email, but I can give it to you on the phone if you have a pen available. 646 787 5024. Yep. So yep, it will keep in mind that I'm going to put something together that's going to be specific to what we've discussed today for PhaZZer, okay? No worries. check it out for sure. Send if you could send me the link in an email, that'd be awesome. And yeah, if there's anything I can do to help you out as well. Oh, VU Studios. Okay. Let me. Yep. Cool. I'll check it out. And you'll receive that document from me. Um, I'll try my best to get it over tonight, but if not, tomorrow morning. Thank you for your time. Go for it. It's okay. So, I think so what you're looking at is really you need your customers to get some numbers in front of them without having any impact on your inventory. Okay, so in order to do that, I think it's pretty straightforward in terms of your customers having the ability here through their portal to get visibility into the different prices. So what you'd want to do is if they wanted to add items to a shopping cart, they could do that, and they could continue shopping, and they could add another one, and they could add this to the cart, and then they can take this cart here and they can view the items in their cart. This has no implications on your back end. There's no quote created, there's no nothing. So they'll be able to look at their shopping cart. Right. Yeah, I mean, they would be able to click file and just print this. I'm pretty sure. Like if they click file print, it'll actually bring up let me see what it brings up. It actually pulls the yeah, it'll pull the window, the shopping cart. So this would just give them visibility online. So let's just say they wanted to hold on. So if I go like this, confirm, now confirm order. So let me see if this created anything in the back end. Correct. Oh, wait. It actually, so if this customer, because right now, I never confirmed the order. I'm still in the review order, right? The order is not confirmed. However, on my back end, look, at 5:15 for 5:23, it's in quotation. So it actually works. But the thing is they don't have, how do they know what order they're looking at? So they view their cart. Oh, this is my cart. I'd have to figure out a way. Oh, you're right. Actually, look, quotes. It'll be a quote, so you can see your quotes. So there are currently, but there are no quotes. But if I go here, because I already pushed it through and tried to confirm the order. Oh, actually, wait, these are two different orders. Hold on here. Yeah, let me just do this quickly. So shop, my account. So if I want to just create a quote here, I need to figure out how it works exactly. So if I just click this and I add this to my cart, this is $8.76. And now if I go to my account, there are no quotes for your account. Here, wait, so here's my, go to the shopping cart. Processed. Hold on, let me see if it's, so there's, I need to look into this. I'm sure I'm sure it's possible. We have a thing for quotes. I'm sure I'm just not setting something up right. Like, let me check this out for a second here. If I go to configuration, online, it doesn't. Yeah, I know it was manual. Online quote confirmation email. So order confirmation email. So if I have like the confirmation, email here, it should advanced settings, optional report to print, dynamic placeholder. I would need to look into I need to look into that just to see how it works, because we have a slot for it there. It's just I'm not doing something right, I'm sure. Understood. Yeah, I need to look. I don't know how. Let me just try to solve the problem right now. Quotation templates. we can have just a test template, other settings. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look at how. Let me think about that for a minute, because if you're looking, all you really need a customer to do is be able to create a quotation online, have them have the visibility into the pricing, and then at the same time, you don't want any of the products they've selected to have any impact on your inventory. They need to be able to print that, and furthermore, they need to be able to have a quote reference number to reference so that when they call, you can pull it up and confirm the order, right? Yeah, exactly. That's the reference number. So that, see, my question is, why is this in here for 5? See, where was that quote for 5? These are sales orders, excuse me. But if I go to quotes, now that's in here for 5. Now it's for 8. Oh, yeah, so these numbers are in here. So I just didn't set something up right. There's, oh, wait, I think I know. I think I know. I think I have it. Okay, setting. It's here. It's actually into quote templates, default. If I change this to immediate after website validation and save token, then if I go to my customers thing here, shop, add this. Yeah, exactly. So if I change that to 10, and this is where I'm at now, and if I go to my account, nothing. I think it's I go to my view my cart, take that out. So continue shopping. There's got to be a button for like request quote or something. I just am not finding it. It's the quote in all the features are, there are no quotes in your account. But what if or you want your customers to be able to create their own quotes, right? You don't want to have to create quotes for your customer. Okay. Because what I see, so you'll be able to do that, like, so if I go to Jacob Kaczynski here, I'm going to be able to create a quote for, let's just say, some absurd amount of 1,000 of these darts, save this, and it's officially a quotation. Now, if I go into that portal, and if I refresh, we're going to have a new quote. Or do we not? So what you, hold on, let me just see. Wait, this order for 1,000. I'm not Jacob Kaczynski. Maybe I'm not. No, I'm logged in the right one. I have to look into this for you. I didn't set it up correctly, and I apologize here. Printed. Oops. There we go. So here, so I created this from the back end, but you can open up a quote. They see sales order 28. They can open it. It's for the 10. 1,000. Yep, this is your quotation. They call up. They say, "Hey, Barb, sales order. My name is Jacob Nicholas. I'm calling in regards to sales order 28. Okay, let me just pull up your sales order here. Jacob Kaczynski. Yep, I got you here. Do you still want to purchase 1,000? Yes, we do. Barb, okay. Barb, all you do is you click confirm sale. And then once the sales Nope. So all Barb would have to do is make sure that this invoice is created. So once you just create that invoice for them to pay and validate it, now from the portal perspective, what it looks like is if they go to here, if they go to their portal, they're going to see here invoices and payments. Barb confirmed that sale order 28. They click this, they see they're waiting payment, and there's a button to pay now. They click pay now, and it takes them right there, and they can pay. They don't have to pay by credit card. They can pay by check if you want them to. But it's just obviously going to have implications in the accounting. You're going to have to reconcile those payments a bit differently. Correct, it will. You'll be able to look in the back end of the accounting system, and you'll be able to go to accounting here, and you're going to be able to see awaiting payment, 11,500. Correct. So what you would go in. So let's just the way the reconciliation works. I don't have it set up perfectly here, but you can look at how would I do this? You would do sales, payments. They wanted to pay by check. You'd create a new payment. Customer. You'd select the customer. Payment journal. You want to pay by bank, and then payment amount 11,500. You save, confirm, and I believe it should work here if I go to dashboard. Waiting payments. I didn't do something right, but this is for the 1,000. Then you could register the payment like this. You would say if they're paying by bank or they're paying by cash. You can have different payment options, and you would validate the invoice. There's a better payment reconciliation tool here. I didn't set it up right. Ideally, you'd want to use the online synchronization here. So you'll see there's a difference in your bank. We have the 11,500. We have the customer invoice, and then we have the payment. That's been I did it for too much. But I think you understand the function here of the accounting. I'm happy to break it out in a simpler format for you if you're interested. WhatsApp is at +39 Change it from an order to a quote. Yeah, so if a customer takes it from an order to a quote, what you would want to do is we have order 28 here. And then what you would do is on the back end, you go to sales order, sales 28, sales order, and then what happens is we want to cancel it. So if you cancel this, no, it's not going to let you move it. You would cancel it and you'd create a new quote. So if you cancel this, let's see what happens. It cancels this, and now, if I go here, and I refresh this page, 28's gone. And let's see, it might still be a quote, actually. It moves it back to a quote, I believe. Yeah, it moves it back to a quote, marks it as cancel. And what I can also do, let's see if I can reactivate it. set to quotation. Boom. There you go. And then you set it back to quote. You're in business. And then you refresh it, and but now it's not a quote. Yep. How do you do that? Yep, it's abandoned shopping. Online quote confirmation email. Yeah, so I know you can do that after like X amount of suggests. I just don't know exactly where that is configured. Abandoned orders. It's It is, yeah, it's doable. It's you just set a rule that whenever a order is left in a shopping cart for X amount of time, uh, and when that date, if you say 30 days, and then after 30 days, it will automatically trigger. It's just those are what we call automated actions, and they're possible in Odoo. Okay, what's the last question? Thank you, Barb. Appreciate you spending so much time with us today. Oh, thank you, Barb. Appreciate it. The website. The studio. So you're not going to be able to create like custom like forms and custom fields and things like that if you move that off. Oh, if you move it off, then your customizations won't be supported if you go into future versions or upgrades or updates. So if you customize things and then you remove Studio. Correct. So what do you think? How do you think that went? Yeah, so do you think that we met his requirements in terms of just technical specifications? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what do you think in terms of just general timeline? How long do you guys think you'll be able to move forward this month? Okay, great. So, yeah, great. Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'm gonna stop this.